and movies that don't care about the science and happen to get some of it right. I will celebrate that fact as well. So that is the theme, and I'm inspired by a quote from Mark Twain, spoken of artists, and he says, "First get your facts straight, then distort them at your leisure." All right? So, I will now show you the title of every movie we will be talking about tonight. So you can anticipate it as it arrives. Here it goes. Okay? Every movie. And there's a remarkable level of science literacy exhibited in beer commercials. I don't have an explanation for that, but it is. All right, so let's kick this off. Let's start with like movie openers, right? So this would be exclusively for this display. The opening credits for Universal Pictures. Let's go back to the 1920s. Isn't that the cutest thing? With the biplane, look at that! No, they have the Earth rotating the wrong way. And they didn't quite figure out where the clouds belong. We hadn't been to space yet. Give them a little, give them, okay? So I give them credit for going there at all. They're thinking about the universe. It is, after all, Universal Pictures. Let's go to the next decade, 1930s. Now they got the Earth turning the right way, and they went from a biplane to a single thing with a propeller, so that's good. Of course, planes can't do that in space. That's not how that works. But again, you gotta give them, again, they still didn't figure out where the clouds should go. I don't know, they thought they thought the clouds were just out in space somewhere rather than right near Earth's surface. They hadn't quite figured that out. So now this one, I think they just gave up and just said, let's just be the old fanfare about it. So here we go. You know, they just said, you know, forget it, we'll just. But then, all right, they pick up the Earth theme again. Oh, by the way, in Universal Pictures, often the opening music would put you in the mood for what kind of movie would follow. So in this one, I think it's like a drama, but here it is, you'll still see Earth, because we knew what Earth was supposed to look like. So something bad is going to happen. And now this one, familiar to many people, the 60s and 70s, Universal was a major property then. All right, so they got rid of the clouds. They said, let's not even try. But they did put stars in the background, and Earth is turning the right direction. Then they'll occasionally have an opener where it's not just the music that matches, but something happens in the opener that evokes what's going on in the movie. So here's a very famous movie. Why is this movie famous? Because of how, no. She said because it has Kevin Costner. He's got other movies. It's famous because of how bad it was. It lost money. It was a flop. But they didn't know of that, and so they try hard. Okay. Plus, they got evolution wrong. They think that if you spend enough time in the water, gills will just pop out of your neck. That's not how it works. So anyhow, so let's look at Universal Pictures, 1995. Let's look at their opener. Because Waterworld, it's climate change and all the waters have melted off the ice caps. And everything happens on the water. So we've been looking at Earth in all these other openers. Let's see what they do with Earth on this one. Here it is. See the North Cap there? Good, just watch, just watch, just watch. It's melting. Take a look at Florida. That's how that movie began. I showed this once to, I forgot where, and as Florida disappeared, everyone applauded. It was like, no! You guys isn't Florida like down there somewhere? So you're close, so maybe you have more feelings for Florida. You didn't react and say, oh no! Here's another movie that used the opening scene. Okay? Ted. That is a teddy bear. This movie is not for children. In fact, it's rated R. Okay? So do not take your children to watch Ted. But let's look at the beginning. And this is my favorite of them all for what they did. Because now they're going to, look at this. And we have clouds, and the clouds are in the right place, very close to Earth's surface. Give a little more volume on that. Satellite pictures with where we have city lights on the continents. It would normally end there, but no. Here we go.
It has been said that magic vanished from our world a long time ago, and that humanity can no longer fulfill its desires through the power of wishes. To those who have lost the wondrous vision of childhood eyes, submitted here is the story of a little boy and a magical Christmas wish that changed his life forever. It began in 1985 in a town just outside Boston.
Just think about that. We went from a biplane flying the wrong direction on a badly rotating Earth with clouds out in space to a zoom in, a continuous zoom from above the clouds, through the clouds, down to a suburb of Boston. And now we just look at it and say, yeah, okay, sure. If you had showed this to anybody 50 years ago, their head would explode. We are so jaded by the access we have to the universe. And I just don't want anyone to lose the joy and wonder and suspense of what it is to be on that frontier. So now that takes us just to the modern version of that without coming down into Boston. And this is today's Universal opener. Here it is. That's good. I give it an A+, and they've been trying for decades to perfect that. All right, this whole presentation is in chapters. So one chapter here is killer asteroids. That was kind of in the news recently, wasn't it? So the movie clips are grouped by these relevant themes. And this takes us right to Armageddon. Okay. Armageddon has distinguished itself as having it's violated more laws of physics per minute than any other film I've ever seen. Actually, that's not true. Halle Berry's Moonfall, that might hold the current record. So that's Bruce Willis, an oil driller who is going to save the world because a killer asteroid is on his way. They have to bury a nuke into it and then explode it to destroy the asteroid. But you have to drill to do it, and he's an oil driller, so they get him to do this. And that's Ben Affleck, who is one of the astronauts, and Liv Tyler, whose daughter? Steve Tyler, of course. And so here's my issue. So the asteroid's coming, we see it coming in, and there's like bits and pieces around it, because usually there's the big one and then bits and pieces that they've broken off along the way. So initially the bits and pieces are hitting us, but they have remarkable GPS aim. Because Earth is mostly what? And that which is not water is mostly uninhabited, okay? So, in this movie, these pieces are like hitting important buildings in Manhattan. Have you ever tried to find Manhattan on a globe? It's you can't even, it's 13 miles long and 2 miles wide. But these pieces had GPS. Okay, so this decapitates the Chrysler Building, keeps going, enters the front door of Grand Central Terminal, and then takes out the clock in the middle of Grand Central Terminal. Then, this movie was made in the 90s, so we still had the World Trade Towers. And so, here they are, and they're getting hit, of course, because they have GPS aim. But here's my issue here. The asteroids are coming from space. These are coming from New Jersey. Like, why? They don't come parallel to the Earth. Let's pick up the action in the Situation Room. The president is on Air Force One. He's the first getting notified of this. We have engineers in another room with the Pentagon. We have the military. And so, here we go.
What is this thing?
It's an asteroid, sir.
How big are we talking?
We did the lake.
Our best estimate is 97.6 billion. It's the size of Texas, Mr. President. Yeah, listen.
Dad, we didn't see this thing coming.
Well, our object collision budget's $1 million. That allows us to track about 3% of the sky, and beg your pardon, sir, but it's a big-ass sky.
Okay, that last phrase is the only accurate science. It's a big ass sky. Yeah, that is true. Even if nothing else in this movie is. What happened to these lights? Oh, yeah. Okay. Just during the clips, we'll take those out and the spot. So, I think it's about time for what? A beer commercial. I thought I prepped you for that. Beer commercial, here we go.
Guys, that asteroid is going to destroy the Earth.
There's only one thing left to do.
Yeah!
And here we go!
It's the sure sign of a good time. It's just what it takes to floodlights. Here we go. See?
This must be what people imagine we do in the dome. You know? All the lights are on, you know, we've got 20 people. Now, you know, I have nothing against Bud Light, but if I alone just learned that the world was about to end, I'm not reaching for a Bud Light. Is that wrong? Am I? Yeah, I'm thinking there's better beer for the end of the world. And so what they're pointing out here is you can use that as an excuse, knowing the world is going to end, to drink the beer, and realizing the world is safe to drink it also. So they see that's. Wait, what was the beer that was the champagne of beers? Miller. See, somebody's thought about that. Miller High Life. Old timers remember Miller High Life. That's what that. You don't see it advertised that way anymore. We got a whole story here. Wait, hang on. Okay, go on. He took off his glasses. He's starting to talk. What are you saying here?
I think that any champagne, any beer that comes in a glass is good enough for me.
There you go. All right. So, time for the next chapter.